Hey everyone, today is Friday, May 15th. Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I actually found a really good comprehensive list. I found 10 different aspects of the HEROES Act that we're gonna go over in this video. 1,800 pages is too much. Even the 90-page summary, like who got the time for that? So 10 highlights of the HEROES Act, what you guys need to know in this bill if it does get passed. Hopefully today, we're going to see some big news. I do not expect the full bill to actually get passed and go through, but I do expect something to happen. Whether major revisions occur, whether they increase the $1,200 amount to $2,000 amount, and they cut out all the fat around the meat of the, I don't even, what am I trying to say? Like when you have like good meat, you want to cut the lard around it. Like this is pretty much what they're doing with it. So let's get over this and let's get you guys the information. So the reason why this is called the HEROES Act is because the government really wants to put an emphasis on our frontline workers and our heroes of the country. And that can be determined in many ways. If I see average Joe down the street, like breaking his back, picking up the trash, he could be a hero in one person's eyes. And another hero could be someone who is maybe at a call center, like figuring out these banks and working overtime, trying to help these people out. Or another hero could be considered, like a Chick-fil-A or Chipotle worker. I love Chick-fil-A. They're always so nice to people. It's like such a cool thing. But it could be a Chick-fil-A worker. Like he or she doesn't have to go to work and they're exposing themselves and they're still getting food. And maybe someone just only eats Chick-fil-A and without it, they would have died. So heroes is a very, I would say, relative term depending on who you are in the situation. So honoring our heroes. This provides nearly $1 trillion to state, local, territorial, and tribal governments who desperately need funds to pay vital workers like first responders, health workers, and teachers who keep us safe and are in danger of losing their jobs. I love it. I'm all for it. Keep in mind the CARES Act, that was like $2.2 trillion. So right there, half of what the CARES Act was is going to where it needs to go. And I know this is a very broad topic, like state, local, tribal. Like what the heck is a tribal government? Is it like Native Americans? The $1 trillion, it spreads out more. So it's not like, all right, here's a $1 trillion check from Uncle Sam. You guys all fight over and take a piece of the pie. They went deep. That's part of the reason why this bill was so extensive. They separated how much each department actually needs, but that's pretty much a highlight of it. We're not going to go deep diving about it. It's just not necessary. A Heroes Fund for Essential Workers establishes a $200 billion Heroes Fund to ensure that essential workers who have risked their lives working during the pandemic receive hazard pay. So if you're a nurse out here, first of all, if you're a nurse or first responder or someone who's like putting your life out there, maybe even a firefighter or a police officer, I just want to say thank you guys so much for what you are doing for our country. You're putting yourself at risk. Hopefully something like this does go through because I'm 100% in support of something like hazard pay where you get additional benefit for putting your life on the line. I feel like there's no value to risk and how much money like can go on a human life that could potentially get sick and then just perish. I'm all for the hazard pay. I don't care what anyone says out here. Our frontline workers deserve extra pay and compensation for what they are doing. Testing, tracing, and treatment, huge thing. As you guys know, we're ordering those test swabs that go up in people's nose. We're ordering cotton swabs, test kits, and the biggest thing right now is we need to have a good enough funding for our education within testing and trying to actually get vaccines and people trying to do this and solve the issue instead of just putting a Band-Aid, which I believe the stimulus checks are. So I'm all for this. The testing, tracing, and treatments are looking to provide $75 billion for coronavirus testing. Contact tracing and isolation measures ensure every American can access free coronavirus treatment and support hospitals and providers. 100% for this bill. These are all parts of the HEROES Act that I really like. If we got rid of all the BS and we kept it to even these three so far, I wouldn't be upset. Throw in the stimulus check too. I wouldn't be upset. More direct payments. Oh, here we are. This cushions the economic blow of the coronavirus crisis with the second round of more substantial economic impact payments of $1,200 per family member up to $6,000 per household. We covered this in our most few recent videos, so this is not any news. This is pretty much similar to the $1,200 stimulus checks we received, like I would say, what, a month? Has it been a month, you guys? Let me know. Has it been a month or two? We received that already. Same thing. Most of you guys already know that. Payroll protection. This enhances the new employee retention tax credit that encourages employers to keep employees on payroll, allowing 60 million Americans to remain connected to their paychecks and benefits. This is also known as the PPP program. This is where the government will actually give you a loan that is considered forgivable if you use it towards payroll for your employees of that company. So let's do Chick-fil-A again because I don't know, I'm just craving it. Say I own a Chick-fil-A, say it's very tough for me to hire and keep people on my payroll because I'm not getting enough business coming in. What I can do is get the PPP loan from the government, hire my employees, pay them whatever they're worth, their hourly wage, whatever they're getting paid originally. I would then submit that over to the government and they would actually forgive, I think it's about 75% of that. So that's pretty much a free way for people to stay working, the government actually paying people to work, and it's a pretty good system. There were some flaws where a lot of the big corporations were taking the whole fund. There weren't enough for small businesses, but after phase 3.5, it seemed that a lot of this is working out. A lot of people I do know in person did get approved for the PPP. I actually did get approved for the PPP. I thought I was going to need it. Turns out I don't. And then I was reading all this news about if you took the PPP fraudulently, like you don't actually need the money when you thought you did. They extended the line where you could return that amount. So I pretty much did that. I got this YouTube channel right now. Okay, we doing okay out here. So I returned the PPP for in case any business that may actually need it. So that's another thing. Going down the list, worker safety. This requires OSHA to issue a strong enforceable standard within 7 days to require all workplace to develop and implement infection control plans based on CDC expertise and prevents employers from retaliating against workers who report infection control problems. And I feel like a very good way to relate this to you guys is think about Tesla right now wanting to start up their plant. Elon Musk is going a little crazy right now on Twitter. He's saying, look, if you guys choose to discriminate on me out of Ford and GM and all these other major automobiles, you're not letting me work. I'm going to get my people to work. I will move out of the state of California if you guys don't want this to happen. Worker safety is a big thing right now. They want to make sure that everyone can safely go back while being in a safe environment. That's pretty much the whole thing. They want to be in a safe environment. They want to have a enforceable standard for this. Support for small businesses and nonprofits. So this actually touches back on, which is protecting the payroll. So here it mentions strengthening the payroll protection program to ensure that it reaches underserved communities, nonprofits of all sizes and types, and responds flexibly to small businesses by providing $10 billion for COVID-19 emergency grants through the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. This was the program where originally, before the SBA decided to screw everyone up and say, okay, you're only going to get $1,000, small business owners were originally promised $10,000. So that means this $10,000 would be a grant. And then on top of that, you get a loan after that. It didn't end up even right now, there are people, I got approved for PVP, but I never even saw anything from the EIDL. And I know there are people out here who don't deserve to see the EIDL, and they all got theirs too. And the EIDL is about $1,000 right now for small business owners. Definitely doesn't help that much, but it's still a free grant in support for small businesses. So going down the list, we have preserves health coverage. This protects Americans losing their employer-provided health insurance with COBRA subsidies to maintain their coverage and creates a special enrollment period in the ACA exchange for uninsured Americans. This goes back to health insurance, pretty much a big thing. I think for anyone under the age of 26, you're pretty much on your parents' health insurance anyways. But for any of my older demographic or people who do have kids, or maybe you do have to pay for your health insurance, this is pretty much going to cover that. If you're working with an employer and they're like, okay, well, you're unemployed, you're not going to be able to get the full benefits, and you're listed under COBRA, this is pretty much going to give you additional health coverage in case you may not get it from your employer or whoever you're with. Okay, going down the list. We're almost there, you guys. Stick with me. So extending unemployment benefits. This extends the weekly $600 federal unemployment payments through next January. This provides a vital safety net for a record number of Americans who are unemployed. Now, this brings up the debate. If we extend unemployment so much and people are making more money off the federal unemployment, why would they go back to work, potentially, have to do actual more work where they can just be lounging at home and then expose themselves to the potential case of getting this virus? So the idea is they do want to extend the unemployment just in case, so people do have that safety net like they mentioned. But then the other argument is, like, is January going to be necessary? Like, what if, like pray to God, like, you know, the best scenario happens, like we get a vaccine all of a sudden, or we get like a Albert Einstein who just found the perfect formula, and then all of a sudden we're out of this. Like we're back to our so-called normal lives in a month or two, and then we're still getting $600 unemployment benefits. Would people go back to work, or would they milk the unemployment benefits if this went all the way to January? So I feel like it might be a little naive to extend things all the way, but at the same time, it's like, maybe this isn't even, maybe they should be making unemployment even more at this time. But let me know what you guys think of that down below. What do you guys think about the unemployment benefits? This one is a pretty interesting topic. I want to hear people's opinions on that. So going down the list, we have housing assistance. This helps struggling families afford a safe place to live with $175 billion in new support to assist renters and homeowners make monthly rent, mortgage, and utility payments and other housing related costs. So for anyone who's struggling right now, maybe living in a house a little bit too bigger than the comfort of what they should be used to, this is going to give you protection. You can't get evicted. Okay, if you have to pay rent, they're going to excuse a lot of these things. And even mortgages, as you guys may know, you can push that, defer that payment for the later months ahead, especially for people who have lost their jobs, which is about, estimating, they're saying like 20-30%. I'm thinking it could be even more than that, especially as time goes on. So another aspect of housing assistance that I feel like doesn't get a lot of recognition is that, not all homes are like what you guys see on TV. It's not like Malcolm in the Middle, or like, like those dramas that you see where it just seems to be perfect. There are some very broken homes out in the US, and there are people who are facing domestic abuse, especially by sticking, for so much time with one person in the home. Like, there's a lot more domestic violence happening in the United States now that everyone is locked up, and housing assistance should go towards actually protecting those people. If they can create some other units where maybe someone can move into a studio and escape whatever is going on in their respective homes, this is another aspect to something like this that I do appreciate, that I feel like does not get that much recognition. We talk a lot about direct payments, we talk a lot about stimulus checks, but outside of that, like real life, like their kids starving, their kids getting beat up, their wives that are getting like smacked in the face. Like, there's some real messed up things going on. Housing assistance, huge. Okay, please don't neglect that. Even if you have the blessing of living in a very healthy family, or if you're living on your own, the reality of the situation is domestic violence is real. There needs to be a little bit more, I just want to say, like, attention on that. Food security, this addresses rising hunger with a 15% increase to the maximum SNAP benefit and additional funding for nutrition programs that help put food on the family for the table. That help family put food on the table. All right, we're not putting food for the family. All right, help family put food on the table. For anyone who doesn't know what SNAP benefit is, those are the food stamps that normally people would receive if they're making less than, I think it's like $17,000 or $35,000, depending on where you live. There's a minimum. If you make less than that amount, you can get eligibility for the SNAP benefit, and they just want to increase that because they know there's a lot of hungry people out here. People can't be going out to the homeless shelters and donating like they probably once used to. Food is definitely a big issue. I was seeing other articles online when all of this was happening of people lining up, like trying to get more food because people are starving out here. That's the reality of the situation. Going down, one of the last ones, I think this was more than 10, so I apologize if it was, but this includes safeguards for our democracy, includes new resources to ensure safe elections and accurate census and preserve the postal service. So this one is one of those things where they're kind of like, do we really need that right now? Like, people are out here starving, but like, do our post service like need this? In order for us to get accurate data moving into the future, especially if we ever want to learn from this, prevent something like this from happening again, we need to have funding for things like the Census Department or different aspects of our government where it costs them money to collect data points. And this is really just trying to put more funds in that aspect. Postal Service, I'm not exactly sure what they want to do with that. If you guys know, let me know down below. I don't know if they want to hire more post office workers because, the Amazon packages are slowing down. They need some backup on that end. I don't think it's that. I think they just want to increase different avenues of getting mail through and trying to actually pick things up where it's slowing down. So guys, my tongue, that was like a do re mi fa sol la ti do. All right, guys, so this was my video talking about the highlights of the HEROES Act, the most important things you guys need to know. Hopefully I was able to save you guys time. What is this? We're 17 minutes into this video. Once I edit it down, it should be about 13 to 15 minutes long. So, around a 10-minute, 15-minute so video, you guys are able to get the most important benefits, and hopefully leaving this video, you guys have a better idea of what's going inside of the HEROES Act while cutting out all the blubber, all the fluff, the things we don't need. So Thank goodness there are things like this. Thank goodness that, you know, YouTube exists where people don't have to flip through all these pages of jibber jabber. So here it is, you guys. That's my video on it. If you guys did enjoy this video, like always, don't forget to gently tap the like button, okay? Super, super helpful. It is actually crazy the amount of likes that we get on some of these videos, and I do really appreciate that a ton. And as much as I appreciate that, I know you guys are going to appreciate the 2 free stocks you guys can get down below in the description with Webull. Can't even talk. Sorry, this is my 3rd video I'm recording today. I'm like losing it. Don't forget to get your thing with Webull, okay? They're doing another promotion. Also, Monday, I will come out with another promotion that they actually have for the viewers on my channel. Very special thing. So they're actually going to give you an additional stock on top of the 2 free stocks. It's another promotion coming up. So if you guys sign up soon, I'll give you guys more details on that. Just sign up for Webull. It's going to be worth it. If you don't like it, uninstall the app, get rid of it, and then just collect your free money and peace out of there, okay? So I'll have additional products. I'll have other bank accounts too. You guys can sign up with Chime down below. You get a free $50. I'll have other things like Ebates, where pretty much it's a cashback portal. If you guys do any online shopping at this moment, and statistically right now everyone is online shopping, you guys should always be using a platform or a service kind of like Honey or Wikibuy. I personally use Ebates. They actually have some of the craziest cashbacks. So if you guys are shopping right now on like bestbuy.com, where you're trying to buy a pair of Ray-Bans or even like Lululemon or Nike.com, sometimes they'll have promotions where you can get additional 10% cash back. That's pretty much getting like an additional 10% saving. Such good apps. I have them all down below. You'd be crazy not to sign up for those apps. Now, like always, thank you guys so much again for the support. You guys are all incredible. Stay safe out here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, my people. Woo!